Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KF Podcast, episode 139, the December movie preview. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just found us on the interwebs, check us out at kfpodcast.com and at KF Podcast on all other social media needs. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, all those good places. And
TikTok?
also, huh?
TikTok?
Nope. Not, I don't know what that is.
TikTok's a new one, I guess.
All right. But we're not on TikTok, but we're on SoundCloud every week. So check us out there. We're old. Oh, shit. Sorry on the YouTube one.
It's already a disaster. They tuned in for movie previews and it went astray. We went off-road.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I distracted him.
So, Don.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Ken, well, you know, it's December. It's the last month for movies in 2018. I myself wasn't too impressed with 2018 with a lot of the movies. I mean, other than Infinity War, you know, this summer it kind of like tapered off. We had Venom. What was the last one we went to in October? We got Brock, we got Lance, we got Justin here too.
Oh yeah, Lance distracted me, so I couldn't do it.
So we got a couple movies this month that might interest us. One we probably want to make fun of, and then we're going to get to the big two that round out the year. So on December 14th is Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man movie. You have a desire to see this movie.
I liked the book where it was Peter Parker and Miles Morales together. I think the voice cast of this movie seems really good. And honestly, I've been seeing reviews where this might be the best animated movie of 2018.
Really?
And possibly the best Spider-Man movie.
Looking at the previews and looking at the animation quality, I would agree.
The trailer I saw during the Grinch was like so stupid.
Which one was it? Was it them trying to steal something?
Yeah, trying to like steal something.
And he was learning how to use this like web shooters.
I was like, this looks so like boring. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
The people behind it are pretty good though for that genre. It's like the Lego Movie people and all that stuff. It's going to be like an action comedy, I think, not more
like a buddy cop thing.
Yeah,
because Spider-Ham's in it.
Yeah,
and all these different people.
Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
There.
And what, Spider-Gwen's in it?
Spider-Gwen. The guy that plays Nick from The New Girl is Peter Parker, and he's like an old Peter Parker that's...
He's from a different universe, though.
Well, he's from... Apparently, he might be like older 616 original universe.
Okay.
He's Peter B. Parker, right?
I thought he was just Peter Parker. I don't
There's
know.
Peter Parker and then Peter B. Parker.
Okay.
What the...
I don't know. It was on the...
Peter Porker.
Peter Porker.
Yeah.
Spider-Ham. Justin, you have any desire to see this movie?
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
We'll have a good
I don't know
time.
if I'm going to get out to the theater and see it. But...
We were laughing because we said you'll have a good time.
Just disappointed head shakes.
Well, Spider-Verse movie is going up against Mortal Engines. Now,
The Driving City movie.
Now, Justin, you had some excitement around this movie because you read the book, right?
No, the whole reason that I was excited, I had no idea what this was. And the first preview pops up with, is it Peter Jackson's directing it, who directed the Lord of the Rings movies. And the first thing pops up, it's by Peter Jackson, the maker of the Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. And then it's just this insanity of cities driving around,
eating other cities,
these weird ass steampunk flying machines. I just think it looks interesting and crazy, and I kind of want to see it.
I don't understand how it's the whole city of London on wheels, and it's driving around eating little villages.
So there's some apocalypse, and people went to the sky,
went to the ocean. The people on land, the cities, for some reason, move, and I don't know why. Yeah, and they eat small towns.
Right.
London's like a big
They're
bowl.
predatory.
I'm just waiting for The Rock to come in a bigger city, and they're going to go out on a glacier.
He's in a state. He's driving a whole state.
He goes, here comes Massachusetts.
I'm driving the U.S. of A. across the water. It's on giant wheels. It looks so weird to me. I don't know. I don't know if it's a movie. It's something I'd maybe watch at night on FX. And make fun of it.
They really should have called this Fast and the Furious 12 or something.
Yeah. Then you could have
City
Rock.
Edition.
Yeah.
because the trailer they try to make it. They're like, some took to the skies, other put them on wheels, and they're like, London is a scary city, and it eats other cities. It's like eating this little
We
town.
must stop London.
Yeah, we must stop London. Like, just start. Can't you just blow it up? Like, it's not.
Yes.
We have to stop former WWE superstar Paul London.
So that's on December 14th, and then I know Mary Poppins I think comes out like on the 18th. I don't know if that'll do well. It's Christmas. People probably go for that.
That'll be the movie that they go to Christmas Eve with their kids.
Yeah.
And it's got the guy from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mary Poppins right now is tracking at 70 million opening weekend.
Wow, that's a lot.
How do I track that shit?
You know, Ken.
Pre-sales.
You know. So speaking of pre-sales, moving into the 21st, you have the two big movies, which.
You didn't mention Deadpool.
Well, I guess I didn't mention. Deadpool comes out the same weekend as Mortal Engines. So it's competition for Spider-Verse, Mortal Engines, and Deadpool, which will take some of that away from it. But Spider-Verse is a different audience altogether, I think.
Yeah, it's a kid's movie.
I want to see it.
But on the 21st, you have Bumblebee and Aquaman. Aquaman was moved from November 21st to... Aquaman should have been out this past weekend over Thanksgiving. They pushed it back here, which I don't understand why they pushed it back, because it looks done. I've seen a million trailers for it. I don't know why I decided to go here. So
What came out this week that would...
Nothing, really. I mean, The Grinch was out, Wreck-It Ralph, Creed. Yeah.
Nothing really from the genre.
Yeah.
Oh, Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
It would have gone up. It would have gone head to head against Fantastic Beasts if it had stayed at its original opening.
Isn't that a Warner Brothers movie?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't Fantastic Beasts? Maybe they didn't want anything to.
Yeah, they are the same company. That's true.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why they moved. They didn't want to cannibalize their own profits.
Yeah.
So
What's wrong with the first weekend in December or something like that? Don't go up against. I don't know. It's kind
I'm
of
sure there's formulaic
a plan.
stuff.
I don't think it really has anything to worry about with Bumblebee.
So let's start the conversation. Which movie do you think will be a bigger hit, Brock?
Aquaman. I think people were soured by the latest Transformers movies.
People were soured by Justice League too.
Yes, but they weren't revolted like they were with the Transformers movie.
And I think Aquaman was one of the things that people liked about that Justice League movie.
Okay.
I really like in Justice League when Aquaman jumps a lot.
Yeah.
Falls down a lot.
I did.
Do you know someone who didn't like Aquaman in the movie?
Ken doesn't like anything, though, so he doesn't count.
Wait a minute, what did you call it? The Water Dothraki?
Yeah, I mean, I stand by that statement.
So let's ask Ken. Ken, bigger movie. What do you think will be the bigger hit, Aquaman or Bumblebee?
Aquaman. I think that I can agree. I feel.
I can hit it and still agree.
Yeah, personally, I'm more excited about Bumblebee.
Okay.
I think
we didn't ask you that yet. We'll get to that.
I feel like the world of idiots that I live around is going to be like, oh yeah, Aquaman. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good movie, but
you're going in with
idiot.
such distaste for it. You're going to give it a bad. You're going to give it a bad
He
review.
already hates it before he saw it.
bullshit. I mean, I'm swearing a lot on this YouTube. I
All right, it's
apologize.
fine. Yeah, because you don't have to do any of the editing, so it's fine.
What a jerk.
But go ahead. What were you going to say?
Nothing.
Just say it. What?
I don't remember now because you were making fun of me swearing so much.
No, you made fun of yourself for
You
swearing.
did.
So you think there's idiots that are going to think Aquaman's better than Bumblebee?
I think movie-wise, Bumblebee is going to be a surprisingly better movie.
I
than
think it's going to be
Aquaman.
surprisingly hit as well too.
I feel like, but money-wise, Aquaman's going to make more money. I feel like more people, like Lance said, are going to be upset with Bumblebee. There's been more movies in the franchise that turn people away, and I think people are burnt out from Transformers. Now, if this is good and it gets good word of mouth and it can go on past December
can
and
reboot
January, they can use this as a reboot to the thing.
To the Transformers movie.
Yeah.
How about Justin? What do you think?
I definitely think so. I looked at numbers, so I have some financial backing to my argument.
So
but
go ahead, give us your numbers.
even before I saw the numbers, I thought Aquaman was going to be the bigger opening weekend. I just didn't think it was going to be as wide a margin as what the quote-unquote industry experts are saying it's going to be. Right now, Aquaman is tracking for... Now, this is Friday through Christmas. Because it's a holiday weekend, they're extending it out to a 5-day open. But they're saying Aquaman's going to do $100 million in that 5-day open, and Transformers is only going to... And Bumblebee's only going to do $40 million.
Huh.
in that 5-day weekend period.
Now, is that just U.S.? Because when does it release in China?
Yeah, that's just the U.S. opening 5-day period.
Okay.
But like you talk about Transformers the Transformers universe souring people. Transformers: The Last Night, its opening weekend was $44 million.
Wow. That was the biggest flop out of all the Transformer movies.
Yeah, gross total, that movie only made $130 million. I think it made more. I think it cost more to make that movie than they made.
What,
Yeah.
didn't it make money overseas?
No, it did bad everywhere. The Last Night was a bomb for them. That was the first bomb out of all their movies. Because, I mean, Revenge of the Fallen made a ton of movie. The first, the other ones did really well. That one was a huge flop for them. That was a horrible movie.
It was.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was so
If I remember
poorly
correctly,
done.
we couldn't even stay awake for that one.
Yeah, because I couldn't even follow it.
But look at the trailers for Bumblebee and all the G1 stuff that they have done. They have really made people excited for it.
Yeah.
Soundwave and Shockwave and all these people.
The Wave
Well,
Brothers.
The Wave Brothers.
They made people our age excited for it because of G1. Kids don't give a shit about that.
I don't know. I mean, my kids are excited for it.
Yeah, but your
kids
kids,
are-
your kids have been indoctrinated.
Well, if you're
Perfect
someone like
way.
me and your children, those people are excited for it.
Says the man with the huge transformer behind him.
Right. I also think that Bumblebee has this heartwarming effect going for it that I think is going to like lure some people to it.
Well,
You know, it looks like a good Christmas movie. Like
it's gonna be the movie that the mom can take the kids to.
Yeah.
She gets her rom-com. They get their Transformers.
Yeah, it looks like an Iron Giant kind of feel to
Yeah.
it, where like
Yeah.
this girl with this robot and they're hugging in the trailer and
Yeah,
all
I think
that.
it's going to be a good movie. I just think that Aquaman is going to make a lot more money because they're putting a lot of money into Aquaman to advertise.
Yeah,
and it's
they are
everywhere.
They're doing it the same thing for Bumblebee too.
I don't
It's
see it as much though.
popping up in it's at McDonald's, it's at other
Is
places.
there Transformer toys?
There's Transformer toys, so they've already been out.
I have some of them actually. Now what I'm thinking.
I mean, you walk down a toy aisle right now at Target. There's a lot of Aquaman toys. There's a lot of Bumblebee toys. There's a whole line of Transformers through it.
The Aquaman toys suck. by the way.
Well, yeah, all those toys from that stuff. So let me ask this question, and we'll start with Lance. As far as the movie franchises go, which one? Because we talked about sour taste.
Right.
Which one do you think is more important to the franchise to get it back on track?
Which has the more of a chance of being a savior?
Yeah.
Bumblebee. I mean, Ken hated Justice League.
Yeah.
But even though we say he hated Justice League, it's more of a distaste as opposed to how you.
Yeah, because
felt about
I
Last Night.
love Justice League.
Right.
I'm a fan of the movie.
And I think
Everyone hated the last.
as much as we think the DC universe is the more beleaguered of the franchises, it's not that bad. Transformers needs redemption.
Yeah.
So I think Transformers is the one that needs the win.
Okay. Brock, what do you think?
I agree, and there's more pressure on Bumblebee to do that because DC can go a whole other direction. They have such a bank of characters that they can go to that if Aquaman sucks, they never even have to look at him again, and the franchise continues.
Well, if Aquaman sucks, they can just go ahead and reboot the entire thing again and start over with all new actors.
They
Yeah,
could do that with Bumblebee too. They could do that with Transformers.
they can.
Yeah, but the thing is that you could go to other parts of the DC universe. You're really stuck with either a car that turns into a robot, or a plane that turns into a robot.
Well, I think the big question with Bumblebee is people don't know if this is, like Ken said, a reboot, which people want to see, or just telling a prequel to Michael Bay's horrible universe. And no one
I
cares
think it's
about.
it depends on how it does. I think
Bingo.
Okay.
if it flops, it's like okay, or if it does well, it's like okay, we're gonna reboot. We're gonna do the first Transformers movie again. We'll do it with new actors. We'll change it up a little bit. But if it fails, like all right, that was the prequel. We're done. We're gonna start all over again.
Ken, what do you think's more important to what franchise?
Well, clearly, I think it's Transformers. Like, DC and Warner Brothers can hang their hat on the Birds of Prey movie that's coming out. They have a lot of other fires that they can throw and kind of fuel their...
They have a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah, but they have a lot of properties that they can use to fuel on to do more storylines. Transformers is probably going to be dead if this Bumblebee movie doesn't go forward, because he's like this. He's one of the major supporting characters of the other movies. He's one of the most high-profile characters, other than Optimus Prime, that they've kind of made into this character. Where
I think in that movie universe, he's probably even ahead of Prime, because the first movie really centered around him.
Yeah, him and his relationship with Mickey.
Yeah. But see, I'll play devil's advocate a little here. I think it's the other way around. I think, look, because you said about different corners, I think Transformers being a larger part of Hasbro, that if Bumblebee fails, they can go in other directions, like G.I. Joe, Mask, different things they want to do, and maybe just then they could slowly bring in like let's say they launch a Mask movie next, and then you could and Mask is a success, and then you go G.I. Joe's success. Well, they're using Autobot technology. They could slowly bring them back in where people won't have the Michael Bay feel. I feel like keeping up with the juggernaut that is the MCU, that is Marvel, that any movie they put out gets a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, whether it's good or bad. And Ant-Man and the Wasp and Guardians 2, which I think are both trash, got high ratings on there because they're an MCU movie and they're awesome. Where you remember the backlash to Justice League got. Like, Wonder Woman was a hit. Everybody was like, oh, Wonder Woman, this is going to be good. This movie universe is going to be good. Justice League, it got like a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, and people were like, it's shit. Trash this whole universe. I feel like Aquaman is their savior. Like, if this movie truly bombs, I feel like they're done. Like, a lot of their other movies are just going to be like, they all stink. Like, I feel it's going to hurt Shazam. I feel like it's going to hurt Wonder Woman 2 and all of them. I feel like this movie, if this movie kicks ass and gets that like 90 score on Rotten Tomatoes and gets all that this is DC's new foundation to start putting Blue Beetle, Shazam, all these movies on it. Like, Aquaman's our guy. Like, he's the one everyone loves. Obviously, we can't get Batman and Superman right because we can't even get them cast in a movie. I feel like everything's riding on this movie for him. I feel like that's why they're so way more than Transformers. I feel like Transformers are like, Bumblebee doesn't work. We'll bring it back in another movie somewhere else. I feel like this is DC's movie. Like, this is our shit. Like, we need this movie or we are done because we can't keep up with Marvel.
Well, you think about it this way. If it fails, they don't have to write out Batfleck. They just reboot Batfleck.
Yeah, but people are tired of that, too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually, Don. I'm gonna agree with you because I think DC is treating it as this is the most important property they have right now, because they've from all we've seen in the trailers and all I've read online, they've almost completely flip-flopped the tone of this movie to where it may even look a little bit like a Marvel movie. And I think DC is going to use this to not, actually reboot things, but it's going to reboot the tone. And I think if this is a success going forward, these movies are going to be more colorful. They're going to be more upbeat.
Yeah.
And this will,
instead of the dark and gloomy world that they got known for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if this is a success, you're going to see a brand new DC universe going forward.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's definitely a big deal for them because they take a beating with a lot of people with their movies and their rep and all that, and a lot of it's self-induced because they can't. I don't know. They have a lot of problems. I think James Wan, who's doing this movie, is like their savior. I think he's like the James Gunn of the Marvel universe. Where like everyone likes him so far, and if he pulls this off, then he's like the guy in their world. Where he's like, oh, James Wan's doing it. Oh, it's going to be good. You know what I mean? I think he's trying to build that rep.
Yeah, everyone wants a savior.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like they said what they say in the thing about a king, it's a hero or whatever. And I don't think how they show him in the original Aquaman outfit. Yeah. I guarantee you that's one scene.
Oh yeah,
that's the final scene. After he saves Atlantis, that's when he comes out as the king and he's wearing the Aquaman stuff.
Yeah,
people are like, I can't wait to see him in that outfit. I'm like, he ain't gonna be in that outfit. Nope. He's gonna be shirtless most of the movie.
He's gonna be eating horse hearts because he's gonna be a water guy. Seahorse hearts.
Water Rocky.
I think this movie is going to do really well, and I think it's going to make Marvel want those Namor rights even more and say, wow, we want to take a shot at the underworld and Atlantis. So it's an unexplored place no one's done before. Doing a water movie and all that. It's gonna be interesting.
And I'll make a bold prediction.
Oh,
that'll be the downfall of the MCU if they go that route.
Why?
That will start the ball rolling down the hill, because people will then be like, "Oh, you're just copying DC." That will be the first movie where they can say DC, where people will look at DC and be like, "They did it first. Why is Marvel just copying?"
Well,
this?
Marvel, their entire career has done nothing but copy DC.
I know, but
everything that they have that's a
viewer
big
doesn't know that.
Yeah, everything that they have that's a big successful character came from DC.
Except for Namor.
Except was Namor before Aquaman?
Yeah, 40s.
Timely Comics was.
I mean, I was surprised to figure out that I didn't even know this, that Mr. Fantastic came 2 years after the Elongated Man.
Yeah.
Where I always thought the Elongated Man was that cheap knockoff of Reed Richards. I'm like, he was around 2 years before. Wow. Same with Dr. Fate being around before Doctor Strange, which me and you have argued about before.
Yeah, but you can create whatever you want to create, but if I create it and make it better, then what's the matter when you made it?
It's still not better. I'm not going to do this again. But now, one's like Deadpool being better than Deathstroke. I would agree. I like Deadpool better than Deathstroke at sometimes, There's some that Marvel did do better on. Obviously, Reed Richards is much better than the Elongated Man.
Thanos over Darkseid.
Darkseid. Well, I still like Darkseid. He still has his moments.
And Darkseid actually, I mean, if you take out the last 5 years, Darkseid has more of a history.
He does, but he's a little bitch.
He is a little bitch. So there you go. I think both movies will do well.
It's coming out.
Says the man with the cat named Thanos.
Or here's the big question: are we going to do both these movies in one night?
I want to.
We should try.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We should podcast about one during the other.
So we're here watching Aquaman. Bumblebee was really good, and I can't believe Megatron wasn't in it. It'll be an adventure to try and get them both. We'll have to see how that plays
It might
out.
not even work out schedule-wise.
Yeah.
Well, they might do it so they do get that. You know what I mean?
If they were smart.
Try and buy the same seat in the luxury seat.
Exactly, so you don't move.
So you have to get up. You just sit there.
Just load up with snacks on that one channel.
If we watch 2 movies in one night, what's the over-under of Dawn going to the bathroom?
What's the over-under on Lance sleeping through half of it? Or you sleeping through most of it, too?
Would Lance fall asleep halfway through Aquaman and wake up during Transformers? Like, what happened here?
Now that would be great.
That's a movie.
You'd be like, all right, Aquaman's trying to get that trident. There's Shockwave. Man, this movie's crazy. It's just one big movie. Then when we're podcasting after, it'll be like, I thought Aquaman was really good, but when Blitzwing, no, Lance, that's 2 movies. You're in another movie.
So I'm going to blend them together and give him a 3.
Because you remember you did that during the one, I think it was either Batman vs. Superman or Justice League, where you saw the Batman Lego movie trailer.
Yes.
And you started talking about it. You were like, I did like when they were referencing in the movie all the other things he did from the 60s. We were like, Lance, that was the Lego Batman trailer before the movie. What are you talking about? You were like, oh, sorry. It all just kind of bled together on me. That was hilarious.
I have to be hyped up on caffeine.
Yeah.
It was a Suicide
Suicide
Squad?
Squad?
Maybe a Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It was something of that nature, but he got so confused about Batman. It was great. All right. Well, there you go. We will see what happens, and we will maybe go see them both. I'm sure we'll have about 50 more Aquaman trailers by the time it comes
I
out.
really don't want to go see the Spider-Man movie. If no one else wants to go.
We'll figure it
I'll
out,
go.
Ken.
All right, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, invite, comment here, but you won't.
Yeah.
But and tell us what you think, and kiss your mother.
And wear a Santa Claus pimp hat.
There you
Wear
go.
Santa Claus pimp hat.
It's the holiday edition.
Holiday.
It's the holidays.